all sitting out there, and I myself feel so low sitting here and telling you something. But as a protocol, I have to do so. Then, if we look at the features of Google Classroom, we see that it digitally organizes all the things. I'll just show it how effectively this Google Classroom works. It just organizes all the course content. Like whatever you share with the students, that gets stored in the drive. So you can always retrieve. Students can log in, can access these, whatever the contents they have, anywhere, anytime. And not in this, but the advantage of this Google is that it can be used from anywhere. Anybody from anywhere can use these contents. One is the only thing that is required is you have to log in and you can easily get into that and access the materials. Then the assessment of the students can be done through various quizzes and assignments. You can type, you can give the assignments to the students, you can share the quizzes with them, and even you don't have to take the pain of grading, preparing all the what Excel sheets and like that, all the rows and columns in a what physical form. You just go it, everything will be prepared in a spreadsheet, Google spreadsheet, and you will have a very beautiful tabulation of all the students who have appeared for the assignments, all those who have not appeared. And the most important, it is free of cost. It is free of cost. I'll tell you how to log in, and there are the two ways through which we can do it. I'll just tell you in the later part of this lecture. Then another thing is that the progress of the students can be monitored. This I told you because once you grade, you can always write individual feedback to the students. For example, a student has not completely written an answer. You can always write there that the answer is incomplete and he or she needs to add few more points to make the answer become more weighted, right? So now I will be telling you the various steps as to how you can build your own virtual classroom on this Google Classroom. So let's start going, and this is a hand-on session. So I will be telling you, Dr. Shalini, can I share my uh, classroom, Google Classroom site with all the students, or I mean all the people who are out there?
Yes, ma'am, please go ahead.
Okay. Okay, first, before starting, I would just like to give you a glimpse of how I have created one of the Google Classroom for my students. There are many, but see, this is the basic this is the landing page of the Google Classroom that you will find when you once start creating the class. I will show you later also how you will get started, but I'll just navigate you through how it looks like. For example, I've created these classes like MCOM third semester, BCom, MCOM second semester. So if I click on this MCOM third semester class, I will come across this page which defines me the class code. This code is what is required to be given to the students. This code will be required to be shared with the students, which I will be giving them through their WhatsApp group, or I would send them through the email or whatever. इसके through हम उन तक हम पहुंच पाते हैं. Okay. Then the next thing is, see, whatever announcement that I have made, these are the basic 4 tabs that you can see on the top. It's stream, classroom, people. So see, what these are the some of the classwork that I have given to them. I have shared them notes. I have shared the syllabus with them. I've given them one task also. See, in the task, I have made them read the basic insurance contents. So I have assigned it to 36 students. Now, people refer to all the students who are associated with me in this class, who have logged in this Google Classroom. So these darker one are those students who have joined the class and they are able to access the documents and whatever the content that is on this drive that I'm sharing with them. But all those which are on the lighter, that means these are the students who have and who are not able to join the class. Like whenever you make a student join a class, you have to send a link to them. If the student have not what you call given the consent for join the class, then he or she will not be able to join the class and access the content. So the students who are being donated through black, and this is the gray one. Gray ones have not accepted the invitation, and the black, all the students, they have accepted the invitation of having a Google Classroom, and they all are sharing the contents. Now, see the great parts. This is, I'll tell you how the things are. See, this is automatically, this sheet is being what you call generated, in which you can always set the marks out of 100 or how many marks you want. you can get it. So this is what I just wanted to tell you, that how this is the outlook of the Google
Ruchi
Classroom.
ma'am,
Yes.
Ruchi ma'am,
Yes.
I'm sorry to disturb, but probably your slides are not moving. I mean, we could only see one slide, that is the hands-on session with Google Classroom sign-in. We can only see that slide.
Okay. Okay.
Make it full screen, ma'am. Then it will be.
Make it full screen, I guess probably then it will be running. Yeah.
I'll just stop sharing this one.
You can reshare it, I guess. Yeah.
I'll just share. Don't worry. Okay, is it visible, the Google Classroom slide?
Yes, ma'am, it is visible. Yes, yes.
Okay, so this is what I was talking about. I'm so sorry, nobody told me. Anyway, this is the Google Classroom which I have created for my students. And as you can see, these are types of 3 classes that we have presently. I will be telling you as to how you can create, but I'm just showing you my classroom, how I have created and how it looks at the face value. Okay. So this is MCOM 3rd year insurance management class, in which you can see that I have assigned few things to all these students. Like on the top bar, you can see it's stream, it's classroom, it's people and grades. These are the 4 important buttons that is there, and it works. On the stream, it will give you whatever announcement that you make. In the classroom, you will come across all the things that I have shared with my students. So I will be telling how these things are being put. For example, I shared the syllabus with the students, and it goes, everything that you share with your students goes to this class drive folder in the Google Drive, right? Then the people tab shows you how many students are attached with you. So I have at presently 36 students, and this is you can see there is a difference. It's written with black, and this is a lighter shade gray. So all these, that is with a black ink, that shows that all these students have accepted the invitation that I have told them for joining the Google Classroom. But the gray ones are those who have not joined, or who have not been able to join the Google Classroom. So these students will not be able to access the content that I am giving them. Okay. Then the next part that is very important I was talking about is the grades. Grade means if you take any test or conduct any quiz, in that case, you can see the names of all the students. This is an auto-generated sheet, and the marks and the test, everything will come here around. So you don't have to take the pain of preparing the marks for the student. It will automatically, once you grade the students, the marks will automatically come here. Or you can assign it automatically also if it is a quiz, or if you want to get the assignment, you have taken an assignment in which you have given 2 or 3 questions. In that case, you can assign the marks after, like, see, if it is out of 100, you can put it out of 50, and then you can assign the marks. I'll just show you. This is the tab I opened for you all to see that how the things work, how I have made this. Now I'll just take you to the another part of this. Just a minute. Okay, this is not moving. Okay. Okay. Whenever you have to go for a Google Classroom login, you have to type in the Google Drive, that is classroom.google.com. Please, it's a hand-on session. You can always type there. It's Google classroom.google.com. Please, it's visible there. Dr. Shalini, is it visible? Dr. Nilanjana, is the screen visible? Anybody can please write and
Yes,
tell me.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So once you log in with the classroom.google.com, you will be asked to give your Gmail account. So please pay attention to this. Logging in for Google Classroom, you always have to have a Gmail account. In case you are not having it, you can easily create it. There are 2 ways of logging in for the Google Classroom. One is through the institutional ID that the institution provides. These days, many institutions provide, but there are times when the institutions, you don't have an institutional ID. In that case, you can log in with your Gmail ID. But in that case, you have just to click I am a teacher, and you will be sent to the home page like this, the Google Classroom. So I have logged in with my ID, and now I'll just continue with it. See, this is the basic page that you will come to know about it. On the right hand side, as you can see, just let me show it. Is this screen visible whereby you are seeing this cross sign here? When you click on this, you will find there are two options. One is to join class, other one is to create class. Join class is for the students to do it. For example, if I'm a student, I will join the class. If I put a join class, then I will be asked for a class code. Remember, I will be telling you how when you create a class, there comes a class code, and that particular class code need to be shared with the student. You can share them on their mail IDs, you can share them in their WhatsApp group, and once the students create this, who will enter into the Google Classroom and it signs on the join option, then he or she will be asked for the class code, and then the child will put the class code that you have given to them, and it will just enter into the Google Classroom. So we are not concerned about the join class because that is the part of the students. We have to create a virtual classroom. So I will click on this and I will just accept all the terms and conditions that is written by clicking in this square tab and just continue with it. Okay, now for creating classroom, the very first thing this asks is the name of the class. For example, I'm making a class of MCOM second semester. Okay, now section, there are sometimes few section. If I say section A, and the subject is e-business. Now I can click on this. There are two, one is cancel, other one is create. So I want to create a classroom, so I will click on this create, and it will just take few seconds for the Google to create this classroom. Look, we have created this classroom which is called as MCOM second semester. Now this is the class code that I was talking about. This is what you will put to the students. You will send it to the students because it is a code for inviting the students to join the class. So you can click on this, and this is the code OLJZSXV. This is the code. I will copy it through this link and go to wherever I want to and paste it there. The students will put that code and they will be able to access this classroom. So you come across these, as I told you, there are 4 tabs out there. One is stream, this one is classrooms, third is people, and the fourth one is grade. So we are at presently surfing on the stream part, in which you are able to see what is the name of the class, which is the section, this is the class code. On the right hand side, you have got 2 options. One is the select theme and other is to upload photo. Select theme means you can always select on this, click it on, and you can see for English and Hindi, or for maths, or for arts, or for sports. Different themes are there. You can just choose one of it. I'm concerned about the business, so maybe I just click on this and just set class. So this theme will get changed. This is how the theme can be changed. Now, here this is to announce something to your class. For example, if you have to make some announcement for the class, for example, then you have to click it and you have to see if you have to make an announcement to all the students or a few selected. As if you click on, you will get the list. Here you cannot find the list of the students, as this is the new page that I have created for this FDP, so you won't find the students out here. Otherwise you will have the list of students, and if you want to specifically give a message to a particular student, then you can also do it. Otherwise the default setting is for all the students. For example, I want to make an announcement that test will be on 20th July. Okay, so if I put it there and post, then this will be seen by all the students who will be assessing this Google Classroom. So it's written test will be on 20th July. Now this is how you can make as many announcements as you want, and with every new announcement, the previous one will go down. So next, move on to the next session, that is the classroom. This is a classroom. This is the basically just like the physical classroom that you will create, in which on the what you call on the left hand side you see this button that talks about the creating. This also shows assign work to your class here. That means all the assignments, all the quizzes, all the sharing of material needs to be done on this page. That is the classroom that is being depicted for this purpose. So I'll just click on this create one, and you see there are various options like assignments. We have quiz assignment, we have questions, we have materials, and we can reuse the post and the topic. For example, the topic, my topic is said to be the cloud computing. So I'll just add this. So it will come on the screen as the cloud computing. But for this, I want to give my student an assignment. Then this is the page that will get open. Here you can write, for example, I don't discuss. I'll just write a small question. What is cloud computing? So this is assignment that I just want to give to the students. So I'll just put it here. And this instruction is, for example, we want that the answer should be, say, 500 words. So I can put the instructions that I want to give the students. So I just put it 500 words. Now, I can change the format by bold, italics, underline, and all these formatting bars are there. Apart from this, that is very important, is add. For example, if I have to add some content, if I want to share some content with the students, I can easily go from here to the Google Drive and pick up there and send it there. I'll show how it can be done through link. For example, I want to share something, then I can go to the YouTube. Okay, I'll search for some content on cloud computing. Okay, for example, I'll get video searches out there. Search for it. Okay, actually this bar is not disappearing, so I'm finding it very, okay. Now I can do it. I can go on the YouTube and search for cloud computing. Okay, this page gets open. I can go for the videos. Okay, if I find that this video is very nice and I want that my student should see this video, I can copy the link. Again, I go to the classroom that I have created. Okay, just cancel it. I can open this link part and just paste the link, and I do add link. See, this particular link is being added, and now the students, instead of going there, I can send them 4, 5, 6, whatever the good ones videos that I have, which is very self-explanatory, and the students can see through it and just can understand the concept of it. Next, I can also give them study material through Google Drive. I can, with the same method, I can share with them the various other contents also. So this is all about assignment. Now, another very important thing, just for example, once you are giving an assignment to the students, just a minute, I've created an assignment with the students. For example, cloud computing. You have to see, this is the what you call violet color, assign is there. Anything you want to give as a task for the students, you have to click on this assign. When you assign it, then that will get appeared here. See, what is cloud computing? See, this is in the draft stage because I had not clicked on the assign. So it will appear as a draft. I wanted to show you that if you don't click on the assign, that it will remain as a draft one. Then again, you have to click it and assign it. For example, I'll again have to click it and edit the assignment, and then I have to assign it to the students. In this case, what I have done, I have assigned to the class, and the students must have received this assignment. Now, quiz. Quiz means ki you have to put on a whole lot of questions to the students, and that particular quiz needs to be created. For this, you can create a quiz form, and that is a Google form that is available, and you can easily do it. I'll just show you how you can do it. This is a blank quiz that comes at your face. You can easily change the topic. For example, I want to give quiz on cloud computing. So I can put it here, the topic, a little bit of from description, that is for the assignment 1 or 2. Then here I will start writing with the question. For example, this is a very good tool of what you call Google Form, which is a very good tool for collecting the information, for interacting with the student, for giving quizzes to them, because it provides you an options as to, for example, for every question, the answer which need to be collected from them varies. For example, there are certain questions. For example, I want a name of the respondent, for example. In that case, by default, the Google Classroom shows 2 lines written short answer text, because it knows that here for every respondent will write his or her name. That has to be written. It's not something that to be clicked. Okay. Apart from this, if you get the next one is you can do is if you want to get an email ID, that too by default, the Google form knows that it requires a small space. You can add on as many questions as you like by just clicking on this cross button. Once you click on the cross button, you have got a navigation tool here which says multiple choice. Just click on this button and you will find that for every different type of question, it gives some default suggestions as to how many you can choose for the multiple choice or for the check boxes. Multiple choice are, for example, what is cloud computing? Who invented cloud computing? So you can write 4 answers there, and the correct one will be there will be only one correct answer. But there are certain questions in which the answers need to be a variety. For example, what is your favorite food? Then it can be pizza, it can be golgappas also, it can be cholas also. So different. In that case, you will use this check boxes. Check boxes are used when you have multiple answers for the same questions. Then there is also things whereby you can create a linear scale. For example, you want to get the response of, for example, how do you like my class? You can say it was very bad, it was good, it was pretty bad, or something like this. So you can select from here the linear scale, like it can be 8, it can be 9, it can be 10, it can be 5. Likert scale can be set out from this. If I set it through, then it can be set out like this also. Then multiple choice grid can be given. Then the date and the time can be set. One important thing that I want to discuss with you all, for example, you can always, if you want that every answers must be corrected. For example, in the FDPs, you must be getting this, that you cannot skip any questions if you are getting what you call a questionnaire or the quizzes are there. You have to fill it because this is clicked like this. So it is required that you have to answer each and every. You cannot skip. If you don't know the answer, then too you have to answer either तुक्का लगा के आप आंसर करो or you ask your friends and answer. You can do anything, but you have to answer. You can't leave that particular question blank. So this is the button by which you, if you want mandatory that the respondent or the student should answer each and every, then you require to put this button which is set to off position to an on position. You can always copy the same thing. You can always delete it, and also from here you can show the description of this. So you have sent this question and you can send and share this through this send key. Once you click it, then this question will be questionnaire which you have prepared, or the quiz assignment which you have prepared will be seen by the students, and students will be putting the answers and giving it back to you, uploading it back to you. Now, how you will get the responses? The responses can be collected in this platform, whereby not only the collective responses will be collected, as there are no quizzes, as I have taken this for the, especially for the FDP, this FDP. So it is not showing, but here the individual as well as collective responses will be displayed. Here you can find that you can create a spreadsheet, and this can be created by just clicking on it, and you will just come across this spreadsheet whereby you will have all the data. Like I said, name of the respondent, the email ID, these are the 2 questions as such I put it on. So the questions will come in these categories and you will get all the answers. I mean, 36 students will give their answers, their names, their email ID. This will all get created through this. You can collect the email IDs of the students, their contact number through this small, by creating this small quiz or like this small questionnaire also. Now, coming back to the classroom, I was telling you this is how a blank quiz is being created. Now, you can also put a question out there like I did in okay, what is cloud computing, or what do you understand by what you call is customer retention policy of a company, or something, anything. The same thing, this is the same process that goes on for all the things. Then I'll just come back to this people. People means all the students who will be associated with you. In this, you can see that the teacher, as I'm the teacher, it's written Dr. Ruchi. If you want more teachers to be included, you can always click here and you can write the name of the teacher or the email ID. That particular teacher will also get connected with us. Now, for the students, if, for example, I know one of the students, for example, it's Aryan. I'm putting it Aryan. Aryan. Just a minute. I can invite the students to gmail.com. See, I've added this students, this child. If I want to delete, there is always a cross button out there. I can delete that child. Once I send him this invite link, what will happen? See, this child has not opened or joined the class, but it is visible in gray. So you can always resend it. Like you can always click on this, the action that is required. You can just email it, or you can remove this particular child. If I want to email this child that please join the class, I can just email that and it will get started. Okay, so this is how the students can be added. You can add as many students as you have, you just by clicking. And it is not that, for example, I want to add one more student. Okay, I'll just add, for example, Dr. See, this is how it is added. You can always add as many students as you want through this link. Okay, I think it is clear now for all of you. Then coming to the grade portion, grade is where the grading is being done. As there are no students, I've shown you my slide whereby I've shown you how the grades are being given and how the things are being set out. Like, you can create as many classes as you want. There is no limit to the number of classes. Apart from this Google Classroom, there are certain apps which are associated with it. For example, if you want to take a class, you can always create a Google Meet from here and you can share the link of this Google Meet with your class. So you can create a link, for example, enter a new meeting. I just create a link. I'll just, create a meeting link. I'll just create it, copy it, go back to my classroom, open this, and just put it here. Join this link. Okay, and I'll just paste it. Once I paste it and post it, the student know that they are going to have class with this thing. So once they click on this, they will be navigated to the page where the meeting or the class will be going to take place. So apart from this, I'll just tell you two, three more things. This is the class setting. Class setting, as I say, the class details, what we filled earlier when starting the class. This is a general detail. That means the class code is there, class view is there, whereby you can get the code of the class also. The same code is also here. You can copy it and share with your students. Then streaming is very important. What you want the students to comment on what the things you have written. You want the students just to see the post, or you want the teachers only, yeah, or you want yourself only to share the content with them. You can share any of the options, but the most preferable is that only teachers can post or comment. So you can comment and post, only you have the liberty to do that. You can also do it. Then there is a grading portion also, whereby you can just put the grades, total points that you want out of 100 or 20 and all these things, and you can save this setting also. Once you save the setting, that will be applicable for throughout the class. Clear? So this is what I wanted to share you about this class. Now, I will now talk to you about this another very important app. I'll just stop sharing and just share a different screen with you all. Okay. So as I said, this was the tool that is called as the Google Classroom that I was talking about. Now, another very important tool is the Microsoft OneNote. It is just an organizational tool which is used to display the course notes in a central location. I think earlier I always individually I think this is a very good tool because earlier whenever I used to share some notes on WhatsApp or through mail, it used to get scattered. Like if send them some assignment also that gets all marked up with the course content that I've shared with them or the important sites that I've shared. Through this Microsoft OneNote, you can easily display all your course contents at one central location and you can share the page with your students. So the students can have a ready notes type at their end. And this is very important and very useful for the practical classes also. For example, it is very difficult these days to teach statistics, maths, and all these numerical and papers through online teaching. Either you have all the setup at your home or it's very difficult to teach. So this comes at a very useful aid, like I'll just tell you, I'll just go through it. Uh, Let me discuss the important features that all the lectures are organized at one place. Then you can write on the screen if you have a vertical pen, digital pen with you. Then all the content that you have or you share with your students that gets stored in the OneNote drive out there. That is Microsoft. It's a Microsoft One drive में चला जाता है. Then real-time annotations or whatever the things that you are doing, the calculations you are doing, that is visible to the students, right? For this, for setting or entering or logging in with this Google, what you call Microsoft OneNote, the very first thing you have to do is you have to create an Outlook account. So just put on the Google www.outlook.com. See, this is what you have to put on your what you call on your what you call as the in the Google. Just type this www.outlook.com and just click on the create free account. Once you click on this create free account, you will come across a tab, a window which will be asking you, that was really blank, and instead of at Gmail or at Gradif Mail, it will be at Outlook or at Hotmail. These are the only, you cannot log in with Microsoft OneNote with your Gmail accounts or with your Rediff mail accounts. You have to have an Outlook account. For this, you have to have an Outlook or Hotmail account. So you have to first of all create an Outlook account, right? And then after creating an Outlook account, you just log in with open Google again and just go to OneNote. So I'll just stop sharing this screen and I'll just show you how the things will work. Okay. See, this is what you are going to do. You are going to go to Outlook, open it, and then you will come across this page whereby you are going to create an Outlook account. You will put note, OneNote, and once you enter and click it, you will come across this screen. This is the landing screen of OneNote. Forget this, which I have created. This will be the only screen that you will be coming across. And once you get across this screen, you will see on the left hand side, there is one thing that is written as add notebook. So once you click on this, you have to create a new notebook. For example, I want to take a statistics. I'm taking a statistics class. And so I want the study content for statistics. Okay. So I have created one book named, I just write it's business statistics because the names are common, so it was not taken. So you have to have different names for creating every new notebook. So a notebook will be created. It will take just few seconds for it to be created. This is the home screen of the notebook that just now I have created with the name business statistics. See, this is the look. On the top, it's written business statistics. Now, if I want to create Now I want to create new pages in this. So I will just click the mouse on any blank side. It will come across a new page. I'll just click it on there. First, when it comes, notebook is empty. So for the first chapter, I want to write a heading, introduction. That means in introduction, this is the notebook name. In this notebook, you are going to have this introduction. You can also change the name of the introduction also. For example, in this untitled page is there. Untitled page means here the name of the page is not written. So I can write lecture 1. In this lecture 1, I want to tell my student as to what is, for example, I want them to give the notes of what is statistics. So I can go surf on the net. If I find this definition is very nice and very relevant in the current, I can just go select it, Control X, Control V, come back to my business statistics page, and I'll do Control V. Just a minute. It's let me do it. Control X, Control C, and once I go to my page, I will do Control V. See, the whole things get pasted here. Now, I can, let me paste one more things. For example, I have to explain my students some, what you call, something related to chi-square, okay? So I'll just do control, I want the formula also. So I'll just do it, Control X, Control C, go back to this page and Control V. It will just take few minutes for it to get ready for it. Okay, see, this is the formula that at present you can see on the screen. So now I can do one thing. I can just pick, here it is written home, insert, draw, view. I can just click on this draw. I can pick a small pen out here, choose the color, for example, red, and I can start sharing this and teaching my students. Please look, this is the most important part. This is the relies heavily. Now, if you're talking about X2 by C, I can keep on changing the color so that it becomes more relevant for the students to understand the topic. See, how you can do if you want to explain them something, or you can give them examples, you can write it. I'm not able to write because it is difficult, but once you have that writing devices with you, you can easily do it. So okay, you can easily write on it also. You can clear the whatever the annotations that you do, you can easily clear it also. Now, if I want another page for this, I can again click it here. I can click it here on and just a minute. Just a home. Again, new page. Okay, again this page is there and I can just write on this. A new page will be open. As many pages you can open, as many pages as you want. There is no limit to the number of pages that you can choose. As I have already picked up the pen, now I think I have to get it released. Okay. So this is how you work on this OneNote. Another important thing is that you can record the things out here. I'll just show it how that is also the very best part of it. Let me show it to you. I'll just switch it on recording, and whatever I speak that gets see, it's written. Whatever I speak that gets recorded there, and it is very easy to, for example, if you want to give a lecture, see how it keeps on writing. Okay. So now I have to, like I have to switch it off and just clean the content. Right, I just delete the whole thing. So I just have to delete it. Okay. So you can see it is so useful. You can put so many contents out there. You can share with the student. Another very important thing is in everything that you share with your students, it can easily be going to the Google Drive. Google Drive. It can be going to the OneDrive. Microsoft has got the name of the drive as OneDrive. It will be stored out there. Now, it is from here that you share your content. Click the button that is written as share. You You can go there, and here you can, anyone with the link can edit. So you can name, for example, I want this Aryan push 12 at gmail.com. If I just want, I can send it to him, and I just can send him. I just click the button send. So this particular thing can be sent to him. I can even copy the link and put in the WhatsApp, and once the person to whom I have sent it on WhatsApp can easily get access to the content out there. So in short, you can see that there are so many tools through which you can just navigate and just do. This tool is very important because you can create what you call notes for as many notebook as you want for each paper. For example, I want to for computers, I can do it. I can create it for this, and it all gets collected over there, and all the contents are stored in the drive. So no wonder that the pandemic has restricted our work, and it has what we call given us a limitation and to collaborate with the student. But still, if we want, we can easily collaborate with the students through these platforms, which are very helpful once you learn as to how to work on these. And I think nowadays every teacher, every teaching faculty are quite aware of this. And this is what I wanted to tell you all. These are the two very important pedagogical tools that are for the teaching faculty and very useful for the students also. And in case you have any queries and questions, you can ask me. Dr. Shalini, and this is what I wanted to tell them. I hope you all
Any
like
questions? Yeah, Nilanjana.
Anyone has any question, you can put it in the chat box.
I can see one hand raised, Nilanjana.
Yes, ma'am, 1 minute. Just let me unmute you. So you can unmute yourself.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Bete.
Ma'am, I am Faroza, research scholar. Ma'am, first of all, I would say that it was indeed a very useful and informative session, and it is a very useful tool. Thank you, ma'am, for telling all this. Ma'am, I want to know that in the Outlook account, there are other tools also for teaching, or it is just OneNote only?
That is for notes only. It is basically a collection of content of the materials that you can have with there, and you can share the content to the students also. Like if you want to, for example, a student is not able to solve a problem, you and she can always collaborate together, and you can write and do the calculation part and send it to her. So this is very collaborative platform whereby you can share and disseminate your basically the practical papers. Teaching practical paper is a bit difficult task. So the student can always send in a question out to you through this platform, and you can solve and just give your advice or how to calculate. Okay.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
And there is one more question. The question is to use a blackboard or a way to teach in blackboard method for mathematics. I mean, is there any method to use the blackboard way to teach?
There is always a writer apps are there whereby you can do the calculation on those writer pads. They are a little expensive. You can always have it and get it connected with your desktop or computers or laptops. And you can easily do the calculation just like a small tablet type is there that is called as a writing pads are there. You can always go and search on the Flipkart or Amazon, or you can go to the shops and get it. And on that you can do just like a paper pen, you can do the calculation and that will be displayed on the screen. So we have got many apps are there, the various tools are there, pedagogical tools I said, they are there. And for teaching also, these are some of the things which can be used for the practical classes. There are writing tabs because in the professional colleges, they are using these tabs. And I myself will be using it from the coming session as I will be teaching statistics to them. So I will be getting it, these writing tabs also.
Okay, ma'am, I think that's all for the questions because you explained it so well that it's just so catchy and it's so informative. So thank you, ma'am. And now I would request Academic Head, Sunbeam Women's College, Varuna, Dr. Manisha Singh, to kindly extend a vote of thanks.
Thank you, Nilanjana. Jai Hind, everyone. Thank you, ma'am. It was such a useful and informative session where you have used in all the practical approach where we find the information about the Google Classroom, Microsoft OneNote, such kind of pedagogical tools which are the requirement of this time, this pandemic time, and it definitely being a part of our teaching line. So thank you once again, ma'am, for your taking out time.
It was my pleasure, ma'am.
Participants.
It was my
Thank you,
pleasure.
ma'am.
Take care of yourself, everyone. Have a nice day ahead.
Thank you, ma'am. Over to Nilanjana.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes. Thank you, ma'am. And before ending, I would request everyone to kindly switch on their video so that we can have one virtual group photography. And for your information, both the exit ticket as well as the feedback link has been provided on the chat box. So can everyone just switch on the videos? Okay. So, and everyone, just a second. Just a second. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Ruchi ma'am, once again.
Thank
It
you.
was
Thank you.
really, really a very great session. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.